Well, God had told Noah and his family to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. He told them this in Genesis chapter 9 and verse 1. But they decided to do something different. Let me read to you today Genesis chapter 11, verse 1 through 9. And the whole earth had the same language and vocabulary. As people migrated from the east, they found a valley in the land of Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make oven-fired bricks." They used brick for stone and asphalt for mortar. And they said, "Come, let's build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the sky. Let's make a name for ourselves, otherwise we will be scattered throughout the earth." And then the Lord came down to look over the city and the tower that the humans were building. And the Lord said, if they have begun to do this as one people, all having the same language, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down there and confuse their language so that they will not understand one another's speech. So from there, the Lord scattered them throughout the earth, and they stopped building the city. Therefore, it's called Babylon, for the Lord confused the language of the whole earth, and from there, the Lord scattered them throughout the earth. Now, the people were disobedient to God's calling. Instead of spreading out and multiplying and filling the earth, they decided they wanted to go to one city and stay in that one city, build this one city with this tower. And when they were building this tower, take note here that it says here that the type of bricks that they used, and they used stone and asphalt for mortar. And a lot of commentators believe that what they were trying to do was to waterproof the tower. Even though God said he would never send the flood again, quite possibly they didn't believe his word. But if those two things were not enough, the scripture tells us here that what they were trying to do was to make a name for themselves. They wanted to make a name for ourselves according to verse 4 and not anyone else. And so God looked at that and he confused their language so that they had no choice but to spread out and multiply throughout the earth. And everybody would get together in their own language and be together so that they could communicate with one another. And understand, God's plan will never be thwarted, even with man's rebellion. And so looking at that, looking at the Tower of Babel, the question that we should ask ourselves is, what are we building? What are you building? You know, here were the people in this day and age building this tower to make a name for themselves, being disobedient to God. What are you building? Are you building a tower to yourself to say, look at me, look at how great I am, look at my little kingdom that I have? You know, our world would call this success, building all the wealth, building all the success, building all the fame, building all these things is what the world says that we need. But what we need to build is a life that's lived in obedience to God. What is the building that you are building in your own life? Hope that you'll join me again on Monday.